So the Panther statue has finally returned to the Cayo Perico heist in GTA Online. For a limited time only, players can bring in a massive payday worth well over $2 million, and I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know in order to get your hands on that cold hard cash. For people not subscribed to GTA Plus, the Panther primary loot is only available as a one-time bonus, which means that you'll be guaranteed to get it on your first scope out, but after completing the heist once, you'll no longer have access to it, until Rockstar brings it back in another 6 months or so. To get started, you'll need to make sure that you're not currently in the middle of a heist, which you can check at the planning board inside your Kasatka. You need a brand new scope out of the island to get the Panther as your primary loot, so when you're good to go, hit gather intel and let's do this. Make your way over to the communications tower where the yellow dot is and hack the signal box located either up here or down on the ground. It's super simple, all you have to do is multiply the numbers on the left with the symbols on the right, until you match the target at the top. Just take it slow and fiddle with it until it's right, the timer is pretty forgiving. When the hacks are done, you can go ahead and pull out your phone and get on the app to start scoping out El Rubio's mansion. At the usual location in the basement, you should be greeted with a shiny jewel encrusted kitty just waiting to be shoved in a duffel bag, so make sure that Pavel gets the info and you'll be all set. After that, just make sure that you scope out your preferred secondary loot locations if you haven't done it already. If anyone needs help with that, or anything else to do with the setup missions in general, I'll be sure to link all relevant guides in the description below. Assuming you're all good there, just head towards your nearest guard and get yourself purposely caught, where you'll get kicked back to the airport where we started. Once you return to the city, you can come back to your submarine, where you'll then need to complete the remaining setups and preps that are required before starting the heist. If you want to use this guide to the fullest, you'll need to make sure that you complete the following missions. For the approach vehicle, you'll want to go with the long fin, and then for the prep missions, you'll need to collect the plasma cutter, the fingerprint cloner, and the cutting torch. Finally, you'll need to select a weapon loadout and complete the mission that's associated with that as well. When all of that's done, you can come over to the finale screen where you'll just need to select a few options. Once again, if you're planning on following this guide to a T, just make sure that you pick what I pick and you'll be all good to go. And also just double check that you've got suppressors equipped on your weapon loadout. As soon as we load in, we'll be gathering secondary loot before we do anything else. So once you've got the option, pull up your map and place a marker on this little corner next to the airstrip. Park up the boat and jump out before you follow my path over to the hangar where we'll be collecting some of the secondary loot. Now in this situation, I have a painting available at the compound, so I need to save half my bag space for that. But in all other situations, make sure that you fill it up completely before continuing. There are 4 secondary loot locations inside the hangar we were just in, and there's another 4 on the other side of the airstrip just here. If you're struggling though, you can always check out my dedicated guide linked below. After that, just follow the same path back to the boat, where you'll then need to pull up your map and place a marker at the drainage tunnel, where we'll then be entering the compound. You can stop the boat about here, jump in the water, and then head down to the tunnel so that we can get the real party started. Consider equipping rebreathers by tapping left on the D-pad. We'll be under here for quite a while, and if you've got low lung capacity, it can kill you pretty quickly. Next bit is really self-explanatory. Just cut through the green sections with a cutting torch, and eventually it will break open, where we can then swim through and climb up into the compound. Now from this point, it's really just a matter of following the path that I'm about to take, but I'll be sure to chime in with any relevant tips and tricks along the way to help make sure that you get through things as smoothly as possible. When you get here, you'll want to come to roughly my position and wait for the upcoming guard to come into sight, and be sure to take him out when he's not in the camera's cone of vision. Now just move up a little bit and don't overstep your mark, so that you don't almost get detected like I just did. And then it's just a matter of taking out the camera with a clean shot before progressing around the corner. One of the guards might drop a set of gate keys. You don't technically need them for what I'm about to do, but it can still be useful if you want to take a different exit or something like that. For this next guard, you'll just want to wait around the corner so that you don't risk walking into his patrol path. Then as soon as he pops around the corner, you can just pull your gun out and blast him before he even knows what hit him. After that, you're in the clear and you can rush your way towards El Rubio's office. In here, you'll want to make sure that you open up the safe. You're guaranteed to get a decent chunk of change and it won't contribute to your bag capacity. And then as I said earlier, in this particular situation, I was lucky enough to get a painting spawn as one of my secondary loot options. But that might not be the case when you're running the heist, in which case you'll want to already have full loot bags by this point, like I mentioned back when we were at the airstrip. Either way, when you're ready, come over to the elevator and start hacking the panel on the left. There are alternative routes that you can take instead of using the elevator, which I've included in other guides linked below, but since we're in the office anyway, I find it easier to just do it like this. The fingerprint hacks are super simple. The easiest way to approach them is first finding the top of the fingerprint, which is always really obvious and easy to see. Then it's just a simple matter of going to the same one that you selected last time, and then go one to the right. Then just follow that method all the way down until it eventually registers, and you'll be good to go. You'll have 3 or 4 of these to do depending on what difficulty setting you're on, but either way, once you're done, just make your way into the elevator and down into the basement. Now come over to the glass cabinet and hit the prompted button to begin the process of cutting it open. Basically, you just rev the plasma cutter like a car engine, leaning on and off the button to avoid it overheating, and eventually you'll cut through and be able to grab the primary target. Then you just need to retrace your steps and follow the path that I take out of the compound before we can make our escape and get the hell off the island. Once you're outside, just make your way over to the very first guard, pull out whatever gun you've got, and silently take him out. Then it's just a simple matter of jumping on the bike and riding it all the way to the end. I'll be using a rather unconventional escape method, but it's by far the easiest way of doing things. Just follow my exact movements and we'll be out of here in no time at all. And there you have it, folks. Once the screen fades to black, you're all good to go. The compound strats I use in this video are by no means the fastest in existence, but the main thing is that they're easy and reliable every single time. And I mean, let's be honest, it's more than fast enough for the Elite Challenge, which is really the only thing that matters anyway. But that will be a wrap for today, folks. If you found the video useful, a like would be greatly appreciated, and if you're new to the content, then do think about subscribing as well. And if you need any help with anything else to do with Cayo Perico, I'll be sure to include links to my best guides both down in the description and on the upcoming end screen. Until we meet again, you bunch of legends, I am Red Nitrate and I'll catch you on the next one.